The Hand of the Necromancer by Brad Strickland, Chapter 17. Wait, said Professor Childermass in his weak voice. Let these children go free, and I will give you what you want. Murgle paused. He lowered the staff. Prove it, he said. Show me that you know what I desire, and I will consider your offer. Professor Childermass cleared his throat. You are seeking a relic of Estrius Blackleech, he said, a carving in the shape of a left hand done in ashwood. Murgle's deep-set eyes flared, and his brown teeth showed in a shark-like grin. And you know where this artifact is? Just as I suspected. Oh, you were stubborn, old man, but now you will tell me. Only if you let John and Sarah go free. The brown grin became even more unpleasant. No, my friend, you have it backwards. You will tell me where you hid the hand, and then, if I recover it, I may let your young friends go off easily. Of course, you will still have to suffer for being so haughty and proud. You never expected to get away unpunished, did you? We appear to be at a stalemate, the professor said. I assure you, if you so much as touch either of these two young people, you will never know where the hand is hidden, and if I possibly can, I'll destroy the wretched thing or have someone else destroy it. Murgle actually snarled like an animal. Fool! Do you not understand its great potency? If you should even crack its little finger. Murgle broke off. His grin came back. Ah, clever, aren't we? Tried to trick the stupid old wizard, didn't we? The game isn't that easy, my friend. Johnny stood behind the professor. When the door of the church first opened, Professor Childermass had quickly tucked the hand into the waistband of his trousers against his spine. Its fingers stuck out now, waving. Murgle glared at Johnny. There's one score the boy and I must settle. He destroyed something of mine. I don't know how the brat did it, but he broke a very pretty spell. I felt some of my power go with it. To get it back, I will have to perform a blood sacrifice. The professor crossed his arms. We won't get anywhere like that, he said. Tell me, Murgle, what do you propose to do with this blasted wooden hand anyway? Are you going to chop down a tree and carve a one-handed department store dummy to go with it? Murgle pushed the heavy door behind him, and it swung closed with a dull thud. Ah, well, it wouldn't interest a scholar, the story of our humble experiments in the mystic arts. People don't believe in magic anymore. He tried to smile like a horrible simper. He looked like the world's oldest baby trying to trick his mother into giving him a cookie. But the hand is, a requirement for some astrological studies. Yes, that's it. The hand will enable me to forecast the future accurately, to see what stocks are going up and what stocks are going down. Watch it, Professor, Johnny yelled. He's using his voice to hypnotize you. He did it to me back in the house, Murgle snarled. Perhaps I shall take a little darning needle and sew your tongue between your lips. That would teach you not to interrupt. Forget it, Murgle, the professor said, his right hand eased behind him, close to the wooden wrist jammed under his belt. You were lying anyway. The hand has nothing to do with astrology. Murgle snorted. I suppose you know better? I know a little about magic, the professor said. I know, for instance, about the Hand of Glory. That's the severed hand of a hanged man, dried and treated with oils. If you have one, you light the fingers like candles. As long as they are burning, you can creep into anyone's house without waking the occupants. It seemed to me that such a thing would be ideal for a sneak thief like you. The man in black had crept within a few feet of the others. He snickered an unpleasant sound. You're completely wrong, he said. Yes, there is such a thing as a Hand of Glory, but the Blackleech hand is altogether different and more powerful. Yes, the professor said. Maybe it doesn't put people in a trance at all. Maybe it opens a gate. Murgle's face contorted. How much do you know? He rasped. His jaw became set and grim. No matter. I can see there is no dealing with you. I shall have to use my powers to impress you. You want out of this place, don't you? In a minute you shall be quite free to leave, if you dare. He spoke more words, raised the staff in his hand, and brought it whistling down. It struck the floor of the church with a loud rap. Listen, Murgle said with a grin. Hear that? Johnny heard a rising wind. He knew that Murgle had called up another storm, like the one he had summoned on the 4th of July. Very impressive, said the professor, although I don't see what good it does you. The small window in the door rapidly darkened, then a flash of lightning, and a furious peal of thunder shook the whole place. "It does me this much good," said Murgle. "I will send these children out one at a time, and the lightning will take them. Then you can follow them." "But only if I tell you where the hand is," replied the professor. "I really don't care any more. Once you are gone, I will simply buy your house. I'm quite wealthy, and take it apart, plank by plank, brick by brick. I needed the hand by the beginning of next month, but I can wait another year if I must. I have waited all my life." He pointed his long bony finger at Sarah. "You, girl, leave now. The other two will watch. They will see how far you get." Another blast of lightning and thunder made Sarah scream. Then the professor grabbed the hand and held it out. "Why, wait," he asked Murgle. "If you want the hand, here it is. Take it, if you can." "Ah!" Murgle's eyes lit with an evil glow. He leaped forward, his right hand outstretched. The professor danced back tauntingly. "Run to the door," he shouted. "Be ready to head for cover." The crow leaped off Murgle's shoulder and swooped at them. Sarah swatted at it, backhand, and she hit it. The bird squawked and tumbled. Johnny and Sarah ran to the door and hauled it open. The day outside was frighteningly dark, until a bolt of lightning flashed to earth just outside. Johnny dimly heard the professor chanting strange, outlandish words. Then he saw the old man toss the hand to Murgle. Johnny saw Murgle whirling and spinning madly. He had caught the wooden hand in his own left hand, and it must have clutched him in its fierce grip. Murgle screamed and reeled, dropping his staff as the professor ran toward the door. A swirling black whirlpool opened in the air behind Murgle. The wooden hand tugged him toward the darkness. Johnny heard Murgle's high-pitched, terrified shrieks. Then the darkness engulfed the wizard. At that moment, the professor yelled, "Run for it!" All three of them spilled out of the church. As they reached the street, a tremendous blast of lightning, the biggest yet, smashed into the church. The shock knocked them off their feet. Johnny rolled over, his ears ringing. The black clouds roiled overhead, then began to dissipate with magical speed. The roof of the old church was on fire. The flames spread terrifically fast, sparks flying like magic to the gray house a quarter-mile away. Fire raced up its sides, gnawed at its pillars and gingerbread decorations. With a whoomp, the windows blew out, and orange fire began to pour from the empty frames. The professor stood on tottering legs and helped Johnny and Sarah up. "It's over," he said. "Thank God it's over now." Johnny was sobbing. Sarah turned and buried her face against the professor's shirt, and he awkwardly patted her shoulder. People were coming from their houses to gawk at the blaze. From the town came the screams of sirens. The fire trucks were on their way. And that is the end of chapter 17.